Hello everyone and welcome to FTB Interactions Remastered episode 4. Today we're in the LV age, so we need to start working on some power, working on some LV machines and circuits, but also I want to find some chickens. We built a nice barn last episode and I'd like to get into the chicken mod, see what resources that can gain us. To obtain chickens we need a chicken catcher, which is very easy to make. And this lovely quest actually gains us a spawn chicken, which apparently if we smack it with a book, we'll get a smart chicken. So chicken, smack. Okay, what is it? It's right click. By smack it means right click, whatever, it healed. And there we go. We now have our first smart chicken. We probably actually need another one. So I'll go out into the wilderness tomorrow morning and hopefully we'll find ourselves another chicken. And it doesn't even use a book up, which is very nice. Depending on the mod pack, I always sort books either by miscellaneous or by organic, so I can never ever find them because it's always different. And I got a bit too ambitious and died, which is great because that's got a helmet, so it won't go away in the day, and all my stuff's over there. While we wait for the night out, there are a few more things we need. One of them is a roost collector, and we will also need a chicken breeder. I'll just make one for now, and I also want some roosts, so that's a good start for things. Mainly waiting on wheat and string to be able to increase our supply, but that's fine, it'll grow fast enough. Eventually I might put some more bees out as well. I can't remember what the thing's called from Rustic that I put the bees in, but I'm sure it was cheap. Whenever I want chickens, I find ducks, and ducks can't turn into chickens. Typical. Well, I give up. I'm going to summon a chicken. And hopefully we don't get killed while I do this, but there we go, a chicken, and oh god, it's going to go in the fire. Yay, another smart chicken, we did it. According to the quest book, to actually get anywhere with the chickens, we are going to need to do some breeding. That's because chickens, like seeds, can become 10-10-10, though I don't think they need weed protection, such as a crop would. And oh my goodness, this is incredibly slow. So good thing we set up the chickens now, and we can leave this to 10-10-10 while we do other things. And while we're waiting for the chicken to breed, we will get on with the bronze boiler. I did look, and you can make the solar boilers, but because we can't sleep through the night, I feel like they're not as good. So I assume these extraction conveyor upgrades we can use to use the conveyor belts to actually extract from our coke ovens and input into the bronze boiler. Pipes are fine, we've got lots of pot and pipes, so that should be fine, and I've got everything apart from the hatches now, so just need to make some of these hatches and buses and we should be able to make it. Oh, and also I didn't have the actual thing because we need the circuits actually, so maybe we should make some circuits. Fun fact, I've actually been away for Easter for a couple weeks, so I haven't played this pack in a couple weeks, which means I actually have absolutely no idea where the Thorncraft Crucible is, and I wanted to make some night ore for the quest because I want to unlock, which quest is it? This quest, and I assume because I need night ore to make it, I need to do the night ore quest in here because we haven't done that. But I've lost the crucible. I've got absolutely no idea where it is. I mean, I've got another cauldron, so it's fine, but I'm sure I had it. I'm sure I set up the crucible, but I remember where the actual crucible is. It's in the other dimension, in the first starting dimension, because I didn't want to make Thorncraft grow up everywhere. So now we've just got another crucible down there. We'll just ignore that one. But yes, silly me. To actually be able to make night ore, we need glowstone, and we can't go to the nether yet. I don't think so anyway. I don't really want to go to the nether quite yet anyway. Quartzite, thormium. We're close. Liquid death. No, we're not that close. Also, everything gets harder when we go to the nether, and right now I'm struggling enough as it is. Though I don't have any armor on. Maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe I should invest in some armor actually. That sounds like a good idea. Anyway, moving on from that, we still need glowstone. And to get glowstone, it seems a fairly simple recipe, though I haven't clicked on it too much, and we need tiny piles of glowstone. And to make it, we need an alchemy array with illumination powder, which is made from Salus Mundus, glass dust, and medium covalence dust, which all seems fairly easy. We've got quite a bit of mana, so I can't imagine it being too problematic. Okay, I've been doing some planning, and it may be wrong and it may change, but I think the best course of action is actually to make the nether portal, which will take a while. We still need liquid death, which we have to get in bucket form. I didn't actually I guess I haven't got the research for it yet. That's fine. So we'll need to do a bit of Thorncraft. We'll need to do a bit of Astral Sorcery to get the Angel Block. But apart from that, that should be fine. We just need to make the Starlight Crafting Table. So we'll need some Thormium, which is apparently doesn't seem to be too hard to get. Oh, there's GregTech Thormium as well. Interesting. I think we can do that fairly easy with Ruined Birch. We'll make a bit too much of the plant material, but it's 5 per Cantio exactly, and this is really, really cheap, so we can do that. We're also going to need to find a quartzite vein, which is an entropic vein, which is found from the Crashula subulata. Also, I wanted to check, because in GregTech, if you click delete the veins, where's the veins? Or veins. If I click, I think this one's done. If I click delete, does it get rid of it? Yay, I figured it out. I think that one was depleted, but we'll leave it for now. So I'll come back and I'll delete some of the veins that we have finished, and yeah, all should be good. I didn't actually have that many veins discovered, to be quite honest. Of course, when I start talking about finding veins, it becomes night, so we'll have to wait for that, but that's alright. I can continue making sure this is the right course of action. Apparently, you can also find liquid death in dungeons, so that could potentially be worthwhile, though we'll probably die. But good to know, because it is quite expensive otherwise, so maybe we'll have to do some very dangerous searching. Okay, I figured out how to ruin wood, or ruin it, I suppose, and you have to hold one in one hand and one in the other, and there we go, ruined. That was mildly confusing for me, but that's alright. Also, this recipe works with all sorts of wood. Oh, I forgot I could do that for certain things, so we should now be able to make 8 Thormium with this. Which isn't really very many plates, to be quite honest, but whatever, it's fine. Well, it won't craft. I don't have any goggles revealing to tell me what's in here. So, that's fun, and I wasted some steel doing that. Only 5, thankfully. Sure. Oh, it's just Herber, and we need... I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm mixing Herber and Terra up. Oh, that is a bit annoying. Oh well, I figured it out now. Okay, I made our Thormium. Woohoo! We're going to also make a terrible mess because that's probably absolutely chock-a-blocked with Herber that we don't need, but that's fine. We'll just ignore that. Who cares? Probably I should care, but I don't. So there we go, 24 Thormium, and we should be able to make that into a few plates. 16 plates? And luckily for me, I have found our quartzite vein, though I didn't bring my tool forge with me, so I'll have to go back and get that, but no problems. It should mostly be this way. I did have to go from the neighbouring chunk just because of all the water. It was luckily right underneath a river, which is so convenient, but there we go, and I already have broken my hammer. Considering my record for dying, I think maybe it is best that we just craft the liquid death. However, we don't actually have the research for it, which is a shame, but apparently this quest wheel is entirely optional and will open up certain recipes. So that's useful, though I don't know if any of them open the liquid death recipe, which would be most ideal really, but we'll make the actual craft. And to open said section, we need to make research things, including scribing tools, which are just a normal recipe, and a wood table, which is some infused wood and some great wood slabs, so that shouldn't be too bad. I don't know if we have any infused wood though. This should be our lovely wood table. And now, with some cheeky scribing tools, we can right-click our table, and now we have our own research table, and that should be the quest. Woohoo! Paper. I did all of the quest rewards, which haven't given me warp. We can now get to liquid death, but we need a theory of alchemy. I assume if I take my useless crucible from over here, it will be more likely to give us an alchemy research, because that's how it worked in Meatball Craft. It's the same version of the mod, so I assume it works like that now. I seem to be right. I need a Herber V crystal though, and I don't have any quartz slithers. I should be able to make them, maybe. I need some chipped quartzite. No, I cannot make that. I might have one spare somewhere, but I think I used it for something. That's just typical, really. That shouldn't be such a difficult recipe. Okay, so lovely new issue. We can't get the quartz slithers for the research until you get these sort of chipped ones, which requires a sifter and purified Certus quartz, or a cutting saw. And these are both LV machines, therefore we need to start getting into the LV machines. And to prepare for that, I would very much quite like a stack of LV circuits, which I think shouldn't be too difficult. The worst part maybe is the glass tubes. We need a stack of glass dust, which is mostly done with hammers, I think. I can't see a particular way otherwise, and glass is from sand, or you can alloy smelt glass dust, which we don't have. So yes, we will need a fair few electron tubes, and I've already been getting the sticky resin, so that part shouldn't be too difficult. So let's just see how far we can get before we come to another roadblock. Now have LV circuits, and I made another 8 just so we could get the quest, and there we go. And that should get us a few more cables and some resistors and some vacuum tubes, which is very nice. So we might even have enough to make a few more when we make some more copper wire, so that's good. I didn't want to make a whole stack just because the copper wire becomes a lot cheaper when we have LV machines, because we can make the, I think it's the wire cutter, the wire mill or the extruder. They're both the same. Yeah, they're both the same apart from you need this, which is fine. Extruder's used for more things, but we have to still make the LV motors though, which will be fun, but whatever. We're getting there. So I think actually the wire mill takes 2 circuits. I'm not really actually sure which one's cheaper. Maybe they're about the same really, apart from one takes a piston. Oh yeah, this one takes loads of motors, so maybe we'll make the basic extruder first. And of course we are going to need some steam turbines, I think, which is the basic one, which is LV, which will also take us some tin rotors and some LV motors. Why would you ever use steel rods to make LV motors when you can use iron rods? I don't understand. Surely iron's cheaper than steel. This recipe seems just cruel and unusual. And while I was making those LV circuits, we also managed to get 10 10 10 chickens. However, now that we have 10 10 10 chickens, I have realized that we can't really use them for anything of particular note right now, but I suppose it's good to have them done, because when we need them, it's boring to wait. My next issue, though, is that the sheep are slow and they take a long time to breed, but we'll get there, and soon we'll have a nice flock of black sheep to provide us wool for the cables. I assume there's a better way to cover them in the future. Yes, when we get rubber, we'll be able to put rubber sheets on them, so the sheep will become irrelevant at some point, but right now they're very useful. I've also decided that I'm not too against wasting that many resources in the early stages, just to make things a little easier by batch crafting. If I'm making a bunch of copper plates, I'd rather just make a bunch rather than make enough to then be efficient in a bit. As 3-4 would say, you have to be inefficient to be efficient. However, now we've got our first few circuits, we are able to make a large bronze boiler, because if you remember, we need 4 circuits and 4 tin cable on a bronze firebox casing to actually be able to make this thing, and everything else I think should be fairly easy. So we should probably make that before we get too far into LV machinery, because we won't actually be able to use any of it. I made everything to make us our bronze boiler, and I even got a little trophy for it. However, it's probably best that we actually store the steam so that we have a nice little backlog going before we actually set everything up. And there is the mechanism dynamic tank, which is probably the cheapest thing, so we just need a bit of red alloy wire, some steel plates and some iron plates, and we should be good to go. I've got tons of iron plates, I've been making some steel plates. The red alloy wire is probably going to be our biggest issue, mostly because of the wool, but I mean it should be fairly fine. I'll keep reading the things. We've got plenty of actually the wire, so that shouldn't be a problem, so we should be able to make a fair amount of this. I don't think I need glass. I might need glass. I'm going to test it on a small version. Structural glass we can't really make very easily, so hopefully it'll be fine with just tank walls. It won't look as nice, but hopefully it'll be fine. And we can make this big. It's pretty much the railcraft tank, but from mechanism and not made of iron. And luckily for me, it does form. So we can make quite a lot of these tanks actually, so I'm not quite sure how big to make this. I'll probably put it here for now, so I could try a 7x7 maybe. Okay, we've made a dynamic tank. It's not a 7x7 because it just would have been large and flat, and I'd rather it be tall and a bit thinner. But there we go, tank. Make sure it's not doing anything too bad, but yes, output's there. Oh, I thought I put the input on that side. I put the input there by accident. Input needs to go here instead, because that's where we will have our boiler thing. So there we go, tank, and it fills up. Who knows? 175 volume, whatever that means. So, ta-da! Tank. That was really actually incredibly cheap. Now to try and figure out how we can set up everything else. After a bit of finagling, we now have our large bronze bowler. A large bronze boiler. That is very hard to say. It's not piped up or anything. I'm still figuring that out. But ta-da! We did it. I don't know if I can pump out of these without a pump. Probably need a pump, but we should be able to make a pump now, so it should be fine. And I don't know about a conveyor module. Silicons. We're not quite at that yet, but I have an idea on what we can do. So yes, we're definitely getting there, and I assume this needs water. But, oh yes, one for water, one for creosote, one for, yes, okay, that all makes sense. I've turned the machine sound down because these are incredibly loud, but look, I have a vague sort of automation for this, and this is conveyor belts with extraction upgrades, and it just chucks them onto a hopper, which can then go straight into a tin item pipe, which isn't currently connected to anything, because I'm worried about putting stuff in here before it's time, but that will connect, and that will extract for us, and I'm not sure if this will auto extract. I would doubt it, so we will probably need a thingy-mabobby upgrade for that, but it should be alright, and I will eventually, I'm not going to connect this up the full way, don't worry. Okay, that's fine. I will move the water from over here as well, so that we have that going. I don't think that auto exports either. I mean, my other option is to move this forward and then take, I don't know if I have any fluid conduits left from that quest. All we'd need is one, so that could also potentially be an option. I also don't know if the EBF auto out exports. Oh, we have one pressured fluid thing. Yeah, so I'm not sure if that would work. I'm a little worried about that. I would expect it to auto export, to be quite honest, but that sounds like it would be a too easy of a thing for Greg Tech to let me have. But we shall see soonish, I imagine. Okay, it seems to be working. We are producing a lot of steam. It's heating up really fast. We are auto outputting steam. We already have actually quite a ton of steam, so that's good. So yeah, I just need to connect it up to the machines again, and we should have some automatic steam production. It only took me, no, it didn't take too long, really. So, which is the best way to do this? Maybe that way, so I don't burn myself too much. And we'll just route that, and there. Now everything, not that we were really running out of steam before anyway, but now we'll have enough to actually start with our turbines when we should get to them now. So yeah, and this seems to store tons and tons and tons of steam anyway, so that's pretty useful. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. To be quite honest, I didn't film this because I didn't think I'd have the materials, but we've actually had enough to make 3 basic steam turbines and, if I haven't put it away, a basic wire mill. So, I mean, that's pretty good. I've only seen people do this. I've never done it myself. We'll do a little gap for the steam machines just to make me feel good. So there we go. 1 basic wire mill, our first machine. And then, how do these work? Let me put one on the floor so I can actually have a little look at it first. So, power come out that side? Maybe? So I guess I can rotate it that way, and if I get a nice bronze fluid pipe, I've never done this before, remember, I'm very new to, that's the wrong way, I'm very new to Greg Tech, I don't know how things work, so this should go into here, and empty. But evidently, don't do it like that. The problem wasn't the turbine. Oh, no. The problem was the fact that this doesn't auto output, so I had to put a cheeky little pressurized fluid conduit onto, and I also made potent fluid pipes because I thought we wouldn't have enough, but yay, we're making 32 EU per tick. Woohoo, we did it. Yay, now we can make wires. I think just out of normal things and not plates. Let's give it a go. A not friend. Oh, I hate that they turn invisible. Where are you? Come back. Oh, he's there. Oh, he exploded. That's fine. All the area's protected. I just need to put in a program circuit, which is made by putting a normal LV circuit in the crafting table and right-clicking, and on program value 1, we get 2 copper wires per copper ingot, which is way better than we were getting before, and it's not even slow. So, I mean, this is amazing. We've done incredibly well. I'm so pleased. I've never felt so satisfied to have power. I've just realised something, and that is that I can actually use the alloy smelter to be able to make steel rather than the compressor, and it takes way less time, so I don't know why I wasn't doing that before. We just need an ingot mold. If I make this, which is just 4 steel plates, which we would need to make some more of, I think we'll need it for other things as well, so it's fine to waste a little bit of steel doing it this way. We do technically actually have plenty of steel ready to go, and it will be made much quicker when I get this alloy smelter thing working. Surprise for me. So all things going well, this should be our first LV electric piston. I will be making more soon. I just want this extruder first. Then we just need some copper wires and 1 basic extruder. Now, is this the sort of thing where I can make this in the wire mill and then can I craft it down again? I think I can craft it down. So maybe this is one of those ones where you need to make a big one potentially, and then you can just craft it down so it's more efficient time wise. I'm not sure though. No, it seems to be sort of even, to be quite honest, in terms of time, so it's probably best just to make whichever size we need. And now we have this, let's place it down and we can connect up our new steam turbine, which will need to go this way. Connect a little, okay, that's a small pot and pipe. What happened to my slightly larger ones? Okay, pot and pipe, we can connect it up. We have power. We now have our basic extruder. Woohoo, we did it. So now plates should be easier to make. I assume, does this work on the extruder? No, so this will help make us, oh wait, was that can I chisel these? Oh, that's quite nice. That means I don't have to make another one right now. I can just steal one. Even though I did make some more steel plates, we can just steal the one in here for bores and change it for other things. That's very useful. So now that I've got these 2 machines set up, I will actually work on making ourselves a nice stack of electronic circuits. Now things should be just a little bit cheaper. I'm also going to make a basic bending machine because I've just looked and the extruder recipe for the plates is an MV recipe and we're on LV, so I need to make a metal bender. That shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. I think we should have everything. I don't know if we have enough circuits for it, but we'll see. Pipes are hot. Some of these monsters are horrific. What do you mean we're the skeleton spider jockey? Oh dear. Okay, we can now make our basic bending machine. So now plates will be better as well. I'll need a few more hoppers. I think actually we can make enough hoppers now. The problem with this pack over GTNH is these non-stackable tools really do affect your ability to shift click things in. But there we go, and I can make some more chests as well, which will help with our up and downy storagey thingy mabob. I can't think of how to describe it, but the sort of hoppery setup. So if I get 6 of these, we should be able to make some slightly larger chests. So there's a spider out here, which probably isn't safe. So maybe I'll wait till morning before we can set these up. And then I'll just get on with making the rest of the LV circuits. I think we should pretty much now have everything. Yeah. I mean, a cutting saw would also be fairly nice, but I don't know how many LV circuits we have left. Just the one. So we can be a little inefficient on that for now. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why I didn't look at the extruder recipes properly. Remember, this is my first time ever doing any of this sort of stuff, so I kind of just didn't really realize the extruder was all MV stuff. So maybe that was a bit of a mistake, but it's fine. We'll need it at some point, even if right now it might not actually be that useful. I'm sure it's got some, I mean, I can make a certificate of not being a noob anymore if I had the blocks of neutronium, and we can make empty cells. Yeah, stone, not really a great deal of use until we get into MV. I can make graphene foil. Woo. Oh yeah, and I can make glass bottles out of glass dust. Okay, note to self, always look at the voltage. I should have done that. I'm not used to it yet. And just to remind myself of the process we are going through, our next machine after the circuits will probably be the basic cutting machine. I will also make some of the other components like the LV motor we'll make a stack of as well, maybe a bit more. So So we need the basic cutting machine to cut quartz into chipped versions. Yes, we can just do both processes in the cutting saw, so that should be fine. That says LV, just double checking. That says LV, so that should be fine. And then we'll be able to make quartz slithers in the luminous crafting table, which we already have, which will allow us to get the research to make liquid death, which will then allow us to make the nether portal blocks and go to the nether, which we need for the future because we need glowstone, we need sulfur to be able to make rubber, to be able to coat the wires more easily and make our lives easier. So that's the plan for now. Just needed to remind myself because it is the next day for me and I was forgetting what was going on. After making myself plenty of circuits, a whole stack, I now have our basic lathe, which with a programmed circuit should help us make the iron rods which we need for... Oh, I don't actually even need a circuit for it. I can just put iron in. So I'll go ahead and make some iron rods. I did just die again to a zombie, so that's why my health is low. And then we should be able to make ourselves the basic cutting machine. I should probably make a macerator. A LV macerator would probably be beneficial as well. So we'll see what sort of things we can get to creating now that we have power sorted out a bit more. I also think an assembler would be beneficial because I think we should be able to make... Now I'm not so sure. Is this the exact same recipe? Why would I make an LV motor in an assembler for the same cost? Don't know. Not going to do that. I've increased the sheep farm area because there were so many sheep in here that I couldn't actually start sharing them because I couldn't reach. I just wouldn't, the hitboxes were being knocked by each other, so I just couldn't get them. Eventually we will be able to switch to rubber, but again we have to wait until we get into the nether for that, which I mean is fairly soon. I would like to make a stack of motors and a stack of pistons, and to make a stack of pistons we need a stack of motors, so that's 2 stacks of motors. That should be enough for at least a little bit of time until we can get a bit of an easier way to do it, but this should be fine. And look, now we can actually share all the sheep and we still got tons of them, so that's good. Oh, and another one to get, and it should be more grass as well, so technically it should be more efficient. And I really didn't need a pig pen, I don't think. We might not even need anything but sheep, and then they'll become useless soon, so we'll see. And now the alloy smelter is just so fast that the hopper doesn't even have time to get the stuff into the alloy smelter before it starts running again, which is way better. So it takes 3 seconds now instead of 8, so that should make making steel just that bit quicker, which is very, very nice, though I have messed up. This is going so fast that it's messing up not having the steel nuggets at the front. There we go. So now we should be making steel, and we're very close to being able to make our electric pistons. And there we go. I did also have the wrong shape in. I needed the mold, not the extruded shape, but it is working. We are getting our small steel gears, and after that I will be able to also make lots more steel nuggets, which will be very beneficial because we need loads and loads and loads of steel. But we have got quite a little bit going so far. It's not taking as long as it does take in GT&H anyway, because you can just throw the crude steel or whatever it is into that. And it apparently makes taint, but I haven't had any taint, so I'm quite positive about it all. And if I'm not wrong, we should now be able to make a stack of LV electric pistons. Yes, we're a bit down on the motors now because I had to make the alloy smelter, but that's fine. We now have LV electric pistons and motors, and we should be able to make ourselves maybe these 5 machines. I'll see if I can make all 5 because we'll need 5 turbines. I don't know if we can power them all. We shall see. I'll make the machines and then I'll make the turbines, and we can sort of prioritize what we want. Slight change of plans because I didn't realize, but the basic cutting machine which we were going to use to get the chipped Certus quartz is actually gated behind the nether as well. We need a cobalt brass buzzsaw blade, and we can't make that because cobalt is gated by the nether, so that's not something we can do right now. But we can make a basic sifting machine, I think. I haven't actually tried to make it yet. Zinc foil. Zinc. Do I have zinc? Zinc? No. Zinc. How does one get zinc? I have absolutely think at last. Is that gated by the nether as well? If I pulverize purified tin ore, there's a chance. So maybe that's how we have to get it. So I'll try that. And slightly annoyingly for myself, I have been crushing tin ore, but then I've been putting it in the forge hammer, not realizing, oh, we still got 50 as cassiterite. That's not the same. Maybe if I take the cassiterite out and put tin in. Is this all cassiterite? Yes. Okay, I feel less bad now. So, yeah, whoops. That's fine. We'll stop. Oh, wait, I've made the macerate, haven't I? Okay, yeah, I'll switch these out, put a new turbine on, and hopefully that'll get done a bit faster, actually. Macerator all set up. It is twice as fast as the last one. However, it still takes 20 seconds, which is still slow. It only uses 2 EU per tick. Can I overclock it? No, I don't really know what that button does. But there we go. Slightly faster production of this stuff. I'll wait till we get a stack and then I'll chuck it back in and hopefully we'll get some zinc. We should only need 4 zinc in total because 1 zinc makes 4, so that should get us the 2 item filters that we want. And to improve our chances even more, I have got us a centrifuge, which if you put this stuff in, the purified tin pile, we have an 11% chance of zinc dust. So we've got 14 from this one and 11 from this one, and it's not very good so far, but whatever. I maybe put some tin back in the steam macerator over here. I know it takes a lot longer, but then at least we're doing 2 things at the same time, which is slightly more efficient, I suppose. Oh dear, there's a zombie. I'm also not really very good on steam. We've kind of out of charcoal. This thing is very slow. It doesn't really keep up at all, not even a slight amount. I should probably remedy that. We will probably run out of steam. Yes, that's just for me chucking stuff into it, to be quite honest. You get a little bit of charcoal out of it, but this thing is just not producing at the rate it should, really. Oh, is that a creeper? No. So yeah, I don't know if putting more trees around it will make it quicker or what, but maybe worth a shot. I think the tree beacon was really cheap anyway, so we might have been able to make a few more. Yeah, we could probably make a few more. It's a good thing we only need 4 zinc dust. Oh, we just got 2. Amazing. Is that because I clicked the overclock button? Who knows? I don't really understand the overclock button. Maybe I've been messing this whole thing up a bit. It does slightly increase... Oh, 3. Did the button do something? It still says it's processing a ULV, but I don't really... Yeah, I have no idea what the button does. 4. Okay, never mind. We've got everything we need. That's perfect. And I assume I have to smelt it first before we can... And now we have our zinc foil. We should be able to make 2 item filters and a basic sifting machine. So now I need to crush quartz. It says Certus quartz there. I do have that. I thought I had quite a bit, to be quite honest. Certus... only a little bit. Maybe I need to do some more mining, but really that should be enough for now, I imagine. That's only for the chip Certus quartz. I assume the quartzite also works. I can't quite remember which 3 it was. Certus, quartzite, and nether quartz. Oh, we've got some quartzite here. Maybe we'll go for that. So everything should be set up. If I chuck this in the basic sifting machine, it does take 20 seconds, but we should get quite a lot of outputs from it. We get Certus quartz itself, purified piles, flawed, chipped, everything we could possibly want. So yeah, I don't really know how many chipped ones you actually need. You get 1 per, so maybe I guess we just turn them all in. Oh, we've already got 1, that's nice. Oh yes, and this is all just to do the research to get liquid death, which is a massive rabbit hole really, but it's fine, we're nearly there. Wait, this doesn't say I'm missing the research anymore, I don't understand. Oh my gosh. What if it's giving me the research? I'm sure before that said it said missing research. Is it not missing the research anymore? Have we done all of this for absolutely no reason? Well, I don't have the research, so I assume I don't have it, which means I can't craft it. Maybe, I don't know, I'm very confused. Even better, making the sifting machine has actually got us some more electronic circuits and pistons, which is a very nice quest reward for us. So, here goes nothing. This should get us our slithers. Only 6 so far, but that might be enough. I'm not sure. We need some census to get the research that I have at the moment. So there we go. So let's head to the crucible. Luckily, I found out that purple night ore gives you 6 census. So if I chuck that in and chuck in 3 slithers, we should get 3 census crystals. Maybe I shouldn't have made all of them, but whatever, it's fine. We can now do this one. Woohoo! 15% towards alchemy. So, 40 alchemy if we have Precantio and Aqua. Well, now we have to find that as well. I found Precantio and Aqua. We just do actually need quite a few more slithers to not make too much of a mess and also to make sure I picked up the right thing. This is a very slow and steady process. I'd much rather actually just draw my little pictures in the research table, but that's alright. Because you always have to suffer a little bit with Thaumcraft. I've just managed to finish the alchemy theory. That took a very long time. Complete. Okay, we should now be able to make liquid death. Woohoo! We need 100 mortis, which is quite a lot of mortis to be quite honest. So that'll be fun trying to figure out. Oh, it comes from skulls. Does it come from my skull? I've got a lot of them. Let's have a look. Yes. Okay. Well, that's 100 mortis. How many buckets of... I think we only need 1 bucket of liquid death because it's 100 per and it'll give us 1,000. We only need 10. So that should be fine. Perditio just from... Is that from cobble? I think that's from cobble or flint. Yes, it's cobble. And alchemia. I'm not sure about alchemia, but I'll figure it out. Right, let's give this a go, provided we know that we will be making quite a bit of a mess by doing this, but that's fine. So we want the heads, gunpowder, cobble, gunpowder. Why is the gunpowder coming back? Go in. I don't understand. Why is the gunpowder coming back? No, okay, well that failed entirely. Why did the gunpowder not go in? So, as it turns out, buckets of creosote apparently have everything that we need for this recipe, and we just need 10 buckets, which we can have, just about. If I put the gunpowder away, that's completely useless. So hopefully it should work now, maybe. Okay, so let's give it a go now. Is it bubbling yet? Hurry up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bucket. Yay, it worked that time. I'll put the rest of the slithers in. Oh, we got some alchemia. Lovely. So yeah, now we've got a bucket of liquid death. I'll collect everything else that we need and we should be able to make our nether portal. Though I don't know how we light it. And there we go, we now have our nether portal, though I'm not really sure where to put it. Maybe I'll put it under the tree. Woo, doesn't... Oh, it fits in actually kind of well. Woohoo, not a mistake. Right, quickly making a flint and steel. I assume we light the portal like you would a normal nether portal, though I'm not entirely sure. No. I'm in fact a silly Billy as usual, and you light it with this like you would the overworld portal. There we go, 1 nether portal, and I will go through and I will die immediately because we're on half a heart, but that's okay because we just sort of want the achievement of getting there, you know? So here we are in the nether and it's incredibly dark. Like I couldn't see anything when I came out the portal. I thought it wasn't working. Oh, there's basalt. Interesting. I put the flint and steel away, so I can't actually see anything. So we'll have to go back and get... Oh dear, there's a hole there. I'll block that up before I fall through it. The spawn's fine. It's quite well protected actually, surprisingly. I thought it would be a bit more out in the open. So we shouldn't... I mean, we're slightly better protected than we could have been. I think I normally build the portal too high up and that's my problem. But yeah, I'll get more torches and then... Oh, is that backported to... Is this a shroom light? Yeah, cool. So yes, now we're in the nether. We can get... Is that dimensional shard? I don't know. Woohoo, we did it. So yeah, nether portal complete. And now we've gotten to the very scary nether and I have become incredibly unprepared for what's ahead. I think it's probably a good time to wrap up today's episode. So thank you all so much for watching and I'll see you all in the next one.